Do you guys want some free advice? Everybody likes free advice, right? Who doesn't want free advice? Here's some free advice for you. Starting a YouTube channel with book reviews in it is not a good business decision. That being said, I am going to continue to finish what I started. I am going to do a book review on Sell or Be Sold after every chapter I read. I enjoy it. I'll come back. I'll watch this. Generally, I told you guys that I mark my books up a lot. I highlight and I come back to the book and I reread it. But how much better would it be if I could come back and just watch a series of 10-minute videos to get the gist of what I read? I'm kind of a no-brainer, right? I mean, am I working smarter or harder? Or is this just showing everybody how lazy I am? I don't know. Reading is hard. I could turn this on and put it in my pocket, not have to watch me, even though you're welcome. Hey, you guys, you're welcome. Okay? Get to see this. You're welcome. Okay? So I can put this in my pocket and not get to see all this and just listen, though, and absorb my book. And that's most important. Getting the information from here to in here is what's important. So follow along, give it a listen. Let me know if you've read it, what you think. Leave comments down below. I'm excited to see what you guys think. But judging off the views I got from my last chapter 1 review, this is not a smart idea. Chapter 2 starts with salespeople drive entire economies. And he goes on to explain what he means by that. And it's right. If you think about what he says in here, think about how sales literally drives everything. Take a moment and think about it. He gives some examples in this book that made me think, right? You have a good idea of what's going on in life and you figure things out and you can survive day to day. But when you're challenged to think about things, when people say things, you're like, I never thought of it that way. Selling is the last great, truly free enterprise opportunity available today. The world would stop turning without salespeople. If you learn the great art of selling, you will never be without work because you will always be needed by others. Think of how impactful that is. People's success in life is utterly dependent on one skill more than any other, and that's the skill of selling. Whatever you do. So when you think of truck driving, you think of delivering goods. Those truck drivers wouldn't have goods to deliver if somebody didn't sell that product to Walmart, to Reese's, to Costco, to Sam's. They've got to sell a product to those companies who then sell that product to the consumer, to you. There were sales involved before the sales. Now, how often do you think about that? There's sales involved before the sell. Literally. Before somebody can sell it. I bought this book at BAM. BAM. Books A Million. BAM. Books. How many dollars I have. I bought this book at BAM. And someone sold, Grant Cardone sold this book to a publishing company, Greenleaf Book Group Press. He sold the idea of this book to a publishing company. This publishing company bought the idea, put the book together. Here it is. Then they sold it to their distributors, who distributed it to BAM. How many dollars I have. And they sold it to me. And they're not giving this book away. I remember what I paid for it. I think $24.99. They're not giving this book away. But it's got some good knowledge in it. So if they're not giving it away, I'm okay with it. It's going to be worth $24.99 plus tax in knowledge to me that I can push forward and hopefully share some of that with you. But that was the first thing. The world would stop turning without salespeople. People's success in life is utterly dependent on one skill more than any other, and that's the skill of selling. Learn the great art of selling, and you will never be without work because you will always be needed by others. It's crazy. Career salespeople are vital to the dynamics of any economy. Without salespeople, every industry on the planet would stop cold tomorrow. That was like the truck driving example. Costco, Sam's, Walmart, Reese's, whatever you have. It's crazy. Listen, chapter 2 started off strong. Now, one thing that's always brought up in these self-help books or these business books or these people's opinions that they package together as a self-help or business book is college worth it? People spend a ton of time talking about their thoughts on college. And one of the most overused things, in my opinion, is Bill Gates didn't graduate from college. You know, everyone has these, so-and-so is a billionaire. Jim Rohn didn't graduate from college. Maybe he did or he didn't. I'm just trying to think of people that say things like this. But he kind of goes bad on college, but he also tells you that there are life skills and things that you're going to learn in school that make it worthwhile, right? You're going to get very basic needed skills to get along in life and work in the world. You'll learn the absolute necessary requirements of school. You might make some great connections. That's kind of worth going, but I'm going to touch base on a few things that I wrote, or that I, highlighted. School don't teach people how to... Words are hard. I clearly read that as schools, but I said school don't teach people... Try this again. Reading out loud is hard. Schools don't teach people how to make a marriage successful or how to raise children either. And what could be more valuable than that? Got a point. No school can make a person great. What did Jay-Z say? You can go to all the school you want, but you can't buy class. Ooh. Can't buy class, playboy. Schools are not capable of making a person successful. Only by application will you or anyone else become successful or great in a field. Look at me, practicing my YouTube. I can tell you that I know salespeople who are making more money than heart surgeons with far less liability and much less stress. Do I agree with that? I don't know that I agree with that last statement. I'm in sales. I've been in sales for a few years. I don't know one person making more money than a heart surgeon. And I surely don't know that it's less stressful either. I mean, sales is one of the most stressful jobs you can have. Heart surgeon is literally life and death. But if you don't sell, you don't eat. If you don't sell, you're not making money. If you don't sell, you're not providing. And all of those things. You have no job stability. You have no job security. You're not making money. You're not putting food on the table. You're not providing. You can't pay your rent. You can't pay your car payment. You can't pay your electric if you're not selling. If you're not successful at sales, you'll make zero money and you will be fired every day. Not every day. But you get what I'm saying. You'll get 6 months. You'll get 1 or 2, 3 quarters, maybe less than a year. They will kick you out. They will bring in a new sales rep, breath of fresh air, and that's what happens. You're constantly, every quarter, you're starting over from scratch. Doesn't matter what you sold last quarter, you have sold this many. I think it's really stressful to be a sales rep. I have no idea what it's like to perform heart surgery on somebody. And heaven forbid, God forbid, they pass away. I don't understand that stress. I can't even pretend to relate, but I can tell you everything I just named you is a stress on every person you know in sales. You're only as good as your last sale. Because what have you sold today? Or what have you sold lately? All professions rely on sales. I know for a fact that for a person to have a great life, he'll have to know how to sell and apply the skills of any great salesperson. These skills will prove more useful and vital than anything you'll learn through any formal education. Of those top producers, everyone has told me that they have studied books on negotiating, sales, and persuading. Why? Because they understand those skills are vital to their success. Every person, no matter what his profession is, relies on selling. He also, hold on, sorry. Trying to move on too fast. Sorry about that. Selling never ends, and it includes everyone. Those who can sell, persuade, and close are the ones who will survive best regardless of their line of work. No person will ever gain true power and stature in the world without the ability to persuade others. Persuasion. He ends chapter 2 with 4 questions. 1 question with 3 answers, 2nd question with 4 answers, then a describe in your own words, and then another question. I love that he ends his chapters this way. I love it. Please give the book reviews a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. You suck at reading out loud is an acceptable comment. Like the video, share it. I appreciate it. And read. It's important. It'll help you grow as a human. Read. It's the lost art of reading.